Assalamu alaikum rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome back to my series. This is the Human Rights in Islam series, Chechnya, the faith under torture and the price of resistance. So, my beloved brothers and sisters, respected elders, and every listener whose heart still recognizes right from wrong, let me begin with a light but piercing opening. Someone once said to me, Brother Rizwan, Chechnya disappeared from the news. Did things get better? I replied, when a people stop screaming because they are exhausted from screaming, that doesn't mean justice arrived. It means the world stopped listening. And that is Chechnya. What is Chechnya? Chechnya is not a headline. Chechnya is not a footnote in history. It is a Muslim land in the Caucasus, proud, resilient, deeply rooted in faith that faced brutal wars, massive extermination, and systematic torture while the world largely watched in silence. 2 wars, entire cities leveled, generations traumatized, faith tested to its core. So the destruction of the people. When war came to Chechnya, it did not come with mercy. Cities bombed into dust, villages erased from maps, civilians targeted, mass graves uncovered, homes burned, mosques destroyed, women assaulted, children orphaned. The capital was once described by international observers as the most destroyed city on earth. Think about that. In the modern era, with satellites, cameras, and international law, a city was erased. And the world says counterterrorism, security operations, stability, words used to wash blood off conscience. The torture chambers. Chechnya became infamous for something darker than bombs, the torture camps. Men taken in the night, families never seen them again, electric shocks, beatings, suffocations, psychological torment. Some were released, broken in body but alive, many never returned. A survivor says they didn't just want information, they wanted us to fear existing. Fear became policy. So the cost of resistance. The Chechnya people were labeled extremists, terrorists, and threats. But let me ask you honestly, if your home is destroyed, your family killed, your land occupied, your dignity crushed, is resistance hatred or is it survival? Islam does not glorify chaos. Islam glorifies justice. And justice was absent. So the world's double standard. When Chechnya burned, no emergency summits, no mass sanctions, no global outrage, no endless media coverage. Why? Because Chechnya did not fit the political script. Because Muslims were the victims. Because condemning oppression was inconvenient. Human rights was once again were selective. Faith that would not die. And yet, listen carefully, Chechnya did not lose Islam. Despite torture, despite mass death, despite trauma, Quran was still recited in basements. Mothers taught children dua quietly. Adhan echoed softly from broken minarets. Men prayed with wounds still bleeding. One Chechnyan elder says they can take our cities, but they cannot take our La ilaha illallah from our hearts. That is Iman under fire. So the Dawah lesson we can learn from this. Non-Muslims often ask, how does faith survive after so much brutality? The answer is simple. Because faith is not built on comfort, it is built on truth. When every worldly support collapses, the believer leans fully on Allah. So Chechnya teaches us that Iman grows under pressure, that oppression cannot erase belief, that faith survives even when the body is broken. Many who studied Chechnya later asked, what belief produces people who refuse to surrender their soul? And that question led them to Islam. So, what Chechnya taught the Ummah? Never trust propaganda blindly. Never confuse power with truth. Never accept silence as a neutrality. Never abandon the oppressed. Never think Allah is unaware. Allah says, do not think Allah is unaware of what the oppressors do. This is mentioned in the Quran, chapter 14, verse 42. So every scream was heard, every tear was recorded, and every crime is written. So our responsibility, Chechnya, is not just history, it's a warning. A warning of what happens when truth is buried, lies are normalized, power goes unchecked, Muslims are dehumanized. What can we do? Remember, memory is resistance. Speak, the truth is protection. Educate, ignorance fuels oppression. Make dua, Allah responds. Stand for justice, always. Silence is not safety, it's a surrender. So the message to Chechnya, to the people of Chechnya, you are not forgotten. Your pain was not wasted. Your patience was not weakness. Your faith was not victory. Your oppressors will answer. Your reward is with Allah. And to the world, history does not only judge killers, it judges those who watched and did nothing. So our next part, stay tuned for that one. The next one coming up is going to be about the India and Gujarat, when mob violence becomes policy.